Hello children, welcome to another video in physics. So today what we are going to do is that we'll be continuing with the chapter of motion in one dimension, in which we have already studied about the graph. So we'll be taking few questions related to the graph, then we'll be studying about the motion equations and the implementation of the motion equations. To begin, we are having a graph in which we are having a question given to us as that the object is initially at point A, then reaches point B, then C, D, E. Alright. Now, these are the various things that we have to calculate. We have to calculate the velocity between first 2 seconds, then between 8 and 12 seconds, and between 5 and 12 seconds. So, what we know is that to calculate the velocity for a displacement time graph, we will be simply calculating the slope of that very line. The slope will be giving us the thing required. The slope over here will give us the velocity. So, let us see for the AB part. Now, to calculate the slope, we have a simple formula that y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So, B coordinate will be having as 2, 10, A coordinate to be as 0, 25. On subtracting them, so it will be 25 minus 10 upon 2 minus 0, or 0 minus 2, y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So, that will give us to be as 15 upon minus 2. So, that means the speed is, velocity is negative. Alright, velocity is negative. Now, next is to calculate the velocity between 8 to 12 seconds. So, between 8 to 12 seconds, 8 is at point D, 12 seconds will be giving up the part at E. So, that means you have to calculate the slope of DE. So, again y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, you will be getting as 5.4, that will be 1.25 meter per second. And lastly, we have to calculate the average velocity. So, average velocity over here for the displacement time graph between 5 and 12 seconds. So, 5 at 5 seconds it is at position C, at 12 seconds it is at position E. So, the average velocity between these 2 points. So, again y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So, that will give us to be as 25 minus 10 upon 12 minus 5, that will be 15 upon 7 and will be 2.1 meter per second. So, this is the way in which we have to deal with any graph question. Now, the next graph that we are having is object initially was at point O, then reached point A and then finally at B. What we have to do is that we have to calculate acceleration, retardation and the distance covered in this velocity time graph for the displacement. Now, to calculate the acceleration, we will have to see that the positive movement, that means the speed, the velocity is increasing. So, that is happening only for the part OA, correct. So, that means acceleration will be only for the part OA. So, again the coordinates of A will be as 10, 15 and 0, 0, 15 minus 0 upon 10 minus 0. So, that will be 15 upon 10, that will give us 1.5 meter per square second. Now, let us calculate the retardation. So, retardation will be when there is a decrement in the velocity happening, or the velocity is decreasing, and that is happening when it reaches from point A to point B. So, again it will be y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So, that will be 0 minus 15 upon 16 minus 10. So, that will be, now since retardation is already the negative value, so we will not write down to be as minus 2.5. Had it been acceleration over this part, so we would have written minus 2.5, but it says retardation. So, retardation itself is a negative value. So, we will be having a minus sign to be placed. So, retardation value will be 2.5. Now, let us calculate the distance. So, for the distance, the entire object is starting, the object is starting from point O, reaches to point A and then finally stops at point B. So, that means the figure that we are getting formed up with respect to this very part with the x-axis is a triangle. So, to calculate the area of the triangle will give us the displacement present over here. So, that will be area of this triangle will be half into base into height. So, that is what we are going to put up and we will be getting the displacement to be as 120 meter. Now, next what we are going to do is that we will be studying about the motion equation, how to derive the motion equations. For that, let us say that an object was initially moving at u velocity and then after a period of t second it reaches a velocity of v meter per second. Initially it was traveling at a speed of u meter per second, then after t second it reaches a velocity of v meter per second in a time interval of t. So, we are going to study about this very graph. So, to calculate the acceleration, because this is a velocity time graph, so we'll first of all calculate the acceleration. To calculate the acceleration, we will be calculating the slope of BC. So, to calculate the slope of BC, so A will be equal to V minus U upon T. The difference in the part is going to be this upon this. So, that is what we are going to obtain. So, on transforming and cross multiplying with the very first equation, that what we get is V is equals to U plus AT. Now let's try to calculate the distance. What will be the distance traveled? If we have a look properly into the figure from the starting part covered with the x-axis, so we are getting a trapezium being formed up. So we can directly apply half sum of parallel side into height. And what are the parallel side? The parallel side is AB and EC. So it will be half of AB plus CE into AE, the distance between the two parallel sides. So this is what we are going to obtain. Now let's do one thing. We already know the value of V. So V will be equal to U plus AT. On substituting, we are going to obtain S is equals to UT plus half AT square, the second motion equation. Alright. To calculate the third one, we are already having the first one. Let's square both the sides. So we'll be getting V square will be equal to U square plus 2U AT plus A square T square. Now over here, let's try to calculate, let's try to separate out. U square is already, we are trying to take out 2A common. So this can further be written down to be as UT plus half AT square, and that is already the second motion equation. So that can be replaced by S. So which brings us to V square will be equal to U square plus 2AS. So we can implement any of these motion equation wherever an object is accelerating or having a retardation, increases the speed, decreases down the speed, goes up high in the air, to what velocity will it attain or how much distance will it travel to any object, we can apply this motion equation. Now what we are having is, let's say a stone projected vertically, thrown vertically upward, it takes 1.5 seconds to reach the highest point. That means when thrown vertically in the upward, there will be a highest point to which it reaches, and obviously we know that as soon as it reaches its highest point, at that point the velocity, final velocity will become 0, and then it will start falling down in the backward direction. So we have to calculate the initial velocity, what velocity are we applying so that it goes high up in the air, and the maximum height attained by this. And over here, since it will be under the acceleration due to gravity, so the value of G is provided to us as 10 meter per square second. So U is unknown, we know that the final velocity that is going to reach will be 0. So G is equals to minus 10 meter per square second, time taken is 1.5 second. So applying V is equal to U plus AT, no, A will be replaced by G as it will be under the application of acceleration due to gravity. On substituting the value, what is the initial value of velocity or the initial velocity we are obtaining? That is 15 meter per second. Next part, let's try to calculate the second part, that is the maximum height to which it reaches. So S equal to UT plus half GT square. You can apply any, maybe the third one is applicable, you can apply the third one. It totally depends upon you, whichever the one you would like to apply, and it should be easier for you to solve. So substituting the value and simplifying, this is what we are going to obtain the distance covered in throwing the object with the initial velocity, and the highest point that it reaches, what is the distance traveled. And remember, same will be the distance traveled when it is going to come down. Alright, okay. And when an object is dropped vertically downward, so this was when it was going in the upward direction, so that is why the value of G is taken to be as negative. Whenever an object is dropped down, so in that case value of G will be taken up as positive. Remember this thing, this is very important. Let's take up one more question. A motor car slows down from 72 km per hour, which is traveling at this very speed, to 36 km per hour over a distance of 25 meters. So that means while it was decreasing from this point till this point, then to the object covered a distance of 25 meter. If the brakes are applied, the same force, calculate the distance traveled by the car. So initially we are having the speed given in kilometer per hour and the distance is in meters, so we will convert this thing into meter per second by multiplying by 5 by 18 to both the speeds, to both the velocity, initial as well as the final. So which on transforming we are getting it to be as 20 meter per second and 10 meter per second. Now distance covered is this, so we are going to apply V square minus U square equal to 2AS. So now on substituting the value, S is known, A is unknown, so A we come across with A is equal to minus 6. Minus 6, that means retardation. Yes, because the vehicle is slowing down, it's getting the speed being decreased, so that means A will be negative. Had it been retardation, so in the case of retardation we'll be writing down to be as only 6 meter per square second. Remember this thing. Next part, it says to calculate the total time in which the car comes to rest. So for that, let's try to calculate the distance what it covers when it reaches the final velocity being 0, comes to rest. That means final velocity will be 0, will no more be taking this case, because this is limited only to the case of 36. But this will be useful in calculating A, because without A we cannot proceed that what will be the distance covered when it is going to come down to rest. So v square minus u square equal to 2as. On substituting the value, we are going to obtain the displacement to be as this very part. Now taking this to be as the displacement, we can calculate the value over here, and this will be left aside because this was the distance covered. That was the next part, I mean the first part. That so the next part is the total time in which, so it will be v is equal to u plus 80. So t will be calculating 20/6 and the time will be 3.3 seconds. So you can just take even one place or two place, that is fine. So with this we come to the end of this chapter, as well as the numericals, the graphs, the motion equations. So we have covered the entire thing from this very chapter. So that brings us to the end of the physics class for the unit test. So keep practicing all these numericals and exercises. I will be giving you questions on a few chapter tests, so you can practice at home. So stay home, stay safe, and keep practicing, keep studying. Okay children, bye bye.